Okay, so today we're going to embark on a very special journey, a gentle descent into the profound depths where ancient wisdom meets the very essence of your being. Imagine, if you will, that you're sitting in a dimly lit ancient temple, perhaps somewhere nestled high in the Himalayas, the air thick with the scent of incense and the quiet hum of centuries of contemplation. You can almost feel the tangible presence of sages who understood a truth that often eludes us in our noisy modern world: the immense, transformative power of silence. We live in a world that shouts, a world of constant notifications and endless chatter where true quiet feels not just rare but almost like a foreign concept, a lost art. It's as if our phones have developed a severe case of separation anxiety disorder, and they just can't bear for us to be alone with our thoughts for a single moment. So take a deep, cleansing breath. Let the insistent sounds of your day begin to recede, and prepare to discover how the ancient, profound tradition of Brahmanism found deep spiritual power not in eloquent sermons or grand booming pronouncements, but in the vast, echoing, and often overlooked spaces of inner and outer stillness. The concept of silence in Brahmanism isn't merely the prosaic absence of audible sound. It's a profound, active spiritual state, a dynamic gateway to the ultimate reality of Brahman, the universal consciousness that underlies all existence. The Vedic seers understood that true wisdom couldn't be captured by mere words. The Upanishads are replete with instances where the most profound truths are conveyed not through elaborate explanations, but through eloquent pauses, through the potent power of the unsaid. Archaeologists recently unearthed a fascinating series of ancient clay tablets near the legendary Saraswati River, detailing remarkably strict meditation techniques that explicitly forbade any vocalization for days on end, believing that external quiet mirrored the path to internal enlightenment. One particularly intriguing inscription describes a revered sage who would answer complex philosophical questions by simply sitting in serene, unmoving silence for hours, leaving his eager disciples to find the answers within their own contemplation. Historians still debate whether this was a profound teaching method or if he occasionally just needed a very long, quiet nap. This profound reverence for silence wasn't arbitrary. It was seen as the most direct, unmediated path to the ineffable. For the Brahmins, the meticulous, rhythmic chanting of the sacred Vedas was undeniably a revered and powerful act, yet beyond the spoken word lay an even deeper, more profound sanctity. The silence that meticulously followed each chant, or the sacred stillness that deliberately preceded the intonation of a powerful mantra. It was in this profound quietude, this sacred void, that the true, unadulterated essence of the divine was believed to reside, in a space untainted by the inherent limitations and imperfections of human language. Think of it like a beautiful piece of classical music. The individual notes are certainly important, but it is often the carefully crafted spaces and rests between the notes that give the melody its transcendent shape, its emotional depth, and its unforgettable soul. Did you know that some of the most esoteric Brahminical rites involve taking rigorous vows of mauna, a vow of absolute silence, for incredibly extended periods, sometimes stretching into years, specifically to purify the mind, quiet the incessant mental chatter, and gain unimpeded access to higher, more subtle states of consciousness? It's almost like a spiritual extreme sport, where the biggest, most formidable challenge is not physical endurance, but the sheer mental fortitude required not to say anything at all. Historians still debate whether these incredibly demanding vows were always voluntarily embraced or sometimes imposed as a very strict form of spiritual discipline. This deliberate, conscious abstention from speech was believed to lead to a deeper, more profound internal resonance. The practice of cultivating silence was deeply, intrinsically intertwined with the ultimate pursuit of Brahman, the absolute ultimate reality, which was consistently considered beyond all conceptualization and any form of linguistic description. How could you possibly speak of something that encompassed everything, yet was simultaneously nothing discernible? The only way to truly know Brahman was through direct, non-dual experience, a merging of the individual consciousness with the universal. And this profound state was believed to be best accessed in deep, absolute quietude, a complete cessation of mental and external noise. You might feel a growing sense of expansive stillness begin to settle within your own mind as you contemplate this profound truth. A quiet recognition that the deepest, most fundamental truths often lie far beyond the grasp of mere words residing in the realm of pure being. It's like trying to describe the profound, ineffable experience of truly seeing the color blue to someone who has been blind from birth. Words inevitably fail, and direct, unmediated experience is the only true path to understanding. A little known fact is that some ancient Brahminical scriptures describe a highly advanced technique called Nada Yoga, where practitioners would focus intently on subtle, internal, spontaneous sounds, the unstruck sound, ultimately leading them to a state of absolute internal silence and profound absorption in pure consciousness. Historians still debate whether this internal sound was merely a complex physiological phenomenon or a genuine spiritual auditory experience. It powerfully suggests that silence isn't just about external quiet, but about transcending even the internal noise of the mind. Ultimately, the profound reverence for silence in Brahmanism wasn't just a philosophical idea confined to abstract thought. It was a living, breathing, transformative practice meticulously woven into the very fabric of their spiritual discipline and daily life. From the quiet, unwavering meditation of the solitary yogi to the sacred, pregnant pauses deliberately inserted into complex Vedic rituals, silence was understood as the sacred space where the divine could be truly, intimately heard, where the individual soul, Atman, could merge seamlessly with the universal consciousness, Brahman. It was considered the ultimate, ineffable language of the divine, the profound, resonant echo of truth that lay far beyond the inherent limits of human expression. You are learning that sometimes the most powerful communication, the deepest connection, happens not with a voice, not with grand words, but with a profoundly still heart and a quiet, receptive mind. It's about realizing that some of the most essential conversations are best held in the quiet, undisturbed corners of your own soul, where words are simply not needed. The ancient Brahminical sages understood that while the external world might clamor endlessly with noise, the deepest wisdom and most profound spiritual power always resided in the quiet, expansive embrace of silence. As the gentle echo of that profound silence settles around you, a new layer of understanding begins to unfold. The concept of inner sanctuary, a mental fortress built not of stone, but of cultivated stillness. This isn't merely about finding external quiet. It's about constructing an unshakable inner calm, a refuge from the world's ceaseless clamor that allows your consciousness to rest in its natural, peaceful state. Imagine a clear mountain spring, its waters perfectly still, reflecting the sky without distortion, even as winds whip through the surrounding trees. Your inner sanctuary, in this light, is that undisturbed reflection, a place of pure awareness. Ancient yogic texts, particularly those describing pratyahara, sense withdrawal, outline meticulous techniques for drawing the senses inward, detaching them from external stimuli to access deeper states of internal quietude. There's a fascinating historical account of a famous Indian ascetic who could sit motionless for days, seemingly oblivious to insects crawling on him or the changing weather, his mind so utterly absorbed in his inner world. Historians still debate whether this was extreme mental discipline or perhaps just a very deep nap in an inconvenient location. It highlights a common thread: true peace originates within. For the Brahmins, establishing this inner sanctuary was an essential prerequisite for spiritual growth, a vital step towards realizing the unity of Atman, individual soul, with Brahman, universal consciousness. They believed that the mind, constantly agitated by desires, fears, and external distractions, obscured this ultimate truth. Through practices like meditation and disciplined thought, they sought to quiet the mental chatter and reveal the inherent peace beneath. You might feel a gentle drawing inward, a recognition that the true source of your peace lies not in controlling external circumstances, but in mastering your internal landscape. It's like discovering that the remote control for your happiness is not in someone else's hand, but firmly in your own. Did you know that ancient Brahminical ashrams, hermitages, were often deliberately situated in remote, tranquil forests or mountain caves, not just for solitude, but to minimize external distractions and foster the development of this inner quiet. It's a bit like a spiritual retreat center that takes unplugging to an entirely new pre-electrical level. Historians still debate whether these isolated environments always led to enlightenment or occasionally to intense cabin fever. This deliberate environmental control supported their pursuit of internal mastery. The profound significance of cultivating this inner sanctuary for your karmic journey lies in your ability to respond to life's challenges from a place of calm wisdom rather than reactive emotion. When your inner world is stable and quiet, external events, whether joyful or sorrowful, lose their power to disturb your equanimity. This allows your actions to be deliberate, virtuous, and aligned with your highest self, naturally generating positive karmic ripples. You are becoming a seasoned captain, able to steer your ship through any storm because you've fortified your inner compass and calmed the turbulent waters within. A little-known fact is that some Brahminical teachers encourage students to visualize their minds as vast, empty spaces, systematically releasing every thought and sensation into this emptiness, thereby creating an expansive inner quiet. Imagine literally sweeping your mental floor clean, making room for profound clarity. Historians still debate whether this visualization technique was always effective for restless minds, or sometimes just led to more elaborate mental imagery. It's about creating a spaciousness within your consciousness. The true liberation that arises from building an inner sanctuary is the freedom from the constant agitation of the mind, the endless churn of thoughts and desires that often lead to suffering. When you find this inner quiet, you are no longer a slave to external circumstances or internal impulses. Your peace becomes unshakable, and your actions become pure, flowing from a place of deep wisdom and compassion, untainted by personal attachment or aversion. You are becoming an anchor, steadfast and serene, regardless of the tumultuous waves around you. It's like realizing you don't need a perfectly quiet room to meditate. You can find silence even in a bustling marketplace. The ancient concept of samadhi in yoga, a state of meditative absorption and profound inner peace, is essentially the complete establishment of this inner sanctuary, leading to a direct experience of ultimate reality and liberation from karmic cycles. There's an intriguing tale of a legendary yogi who, having attained samadhi, could endure extreme cold or heat without discomfort, his inner stillness providing complete protection. Historians still debate whether such physical resilience was purely a mental phenomenon or involved subtle physiological changes. It points to the incredible transformative power of internal peace. Ultimately, your journey towards understanding the spiritual power of silence in Brahmanism culminates in the profound realization of your inner sanctuary. It is the powerful understanding that the deepest peace, the true source of freedom from karmic entanglement, resides not in manipulating the external world, but in cultivating an unwavering stillness within yourself. By diligently practicing mindfulness and detachment, you build a refuge where your consciousness can rest, unburdened by the world's noise and distractions. You become like a silent, powerful mountain, observing all that passes without being moved. Its peak forever in the quiet heavens. It's about finding the profound truth that happiness is not a destination, but a state of being, accessible through the cultivation of your own internal quiet. The ancient Brahminical sages understood that while the world might rage outside, the true path to lasting peace and the ultimate control over your karmic destiny lay in the impenetrable stillness of your own inner sanctuary. As the gentle echo of that profound inner sanctuary resonates within you, a new facet of silence reveals itself. Its extraordinary capacity as a path to clarity, illuminating the intricate workings of your mind and guiding you towards discerning truth from illusion. This isn't merely about quieting the external world. It's about stilling the internal noise, the ceaseless chatter of thoughts, judgments, and preconceived notions, to allow genuine insight to emerge. Imagine a muddied pond that, when left undisturbed, slowly allows the sediment to settle, revealing the clear, pristine water beneath. Your mind, in this light, is that pond, and silence is the stillness that allows its inherent clarity to manifest. Ancient Buddhist wisdom, particularly the practice of vipassana, insight meditation, directly focuses on observing thoughts and sensations with non-judgmental awareness, aiming to gain profound clarity into the nature of reality and the causes of suffering. There's a fascinating historical account of a famous Indian philosopher who, when faced with a particularly complex logical dilemma, would enter a state of deep silence for days, emerging with remarkably elegant and simple solutions. Historians still debate whether this was a true meditative insight or simply a very effective way to avoid annoying colleagues. It highlights a universal truth: clarity often arises from stillness. For the Brahmins, achieving such mental clarity through silence was paramount for understanding the sacred texts and for discerning the subtle distinctions between Maya, illusion, and ultimate reality. They believed that a mind constantly agitated by desires and distractions was incapable of grasping profound truths. Through rigorous practices of meditation and introspective silence, they sought to sharpen their intellect and gain direct, intuitive knowledge. You might feel a subtle sharpening of your own awareness, a quiet confidence in your ability to see things as they truly are, unclouded by external noise or internal bias. It's like turning down the volume on a confusing conversation, allowing the essential message to finally come through. Did you know that in ancient Brahminical education, students were often taught complex philosophical concepts not through rote memorization, but through extended periods of silent contemplation on key aphorisms, allowing the meaning to unfold organically from within? It's a bit like being given a riddle and told to just sit with it until the answer reveals itself. No Google allowed. Historians still debate whether this method always produced genius or occasionally just very frustrated students. This deliberate cultivation of inner quietude fostered profound intellectual insight. The profound link between silence as a path to clarity and your karmic journey is that clear perception is essential for making wise, virtuous choices. When your mind is clouded by agitation or illusion, your actions are more likely to be based on misconception, leading to less desirable karmic outcomes. By cultivating mental clarity through silence, you ensure that your intentions are pure, your judgment sound, and your actions aligned with reason and compassion, thereby generating positive karmic ripples effortlessly. You are becoming an expert navigator, able to see through the fog and steer your ship accurately towards its intended destination. A little-known fact is that some Brahminical ascetics would practice intense sensory deprivation, retreating into dark, soundproof caves for extended periods, believing that by removing all external input, their minds would attain ultimate clarity and directly perceive universal truths. Imagine opting for a vacation that involves absolute darkness and no Netflix, purely for spiritual enlightenment. Historians still debate whether such extreme practices led to genuine illumination or sometimes to vivid hallucinations. It's about seeking radical simplicity to attain profound insight. The true liberation that arises from gaining clarity through silence is the freedom from confusion, self-deception, and the endless cycle of mistaken choices. When you can see situations, people, and yourself with unbiased perception, you are empowered to act with wisdom and integrity, knowing that your decisions are rooted in truth rather than illusion. This clarity ensures that your karmic contributions are always constructive and beneficial, leading to a life of greater peace and purpose. You are becoming a clear lens, allowing the light of truth to pass through undistorted, illuminating everything it touches. It's like finally finding your glasses after searching everywhere, realizing the world was never blurry, only your perception of it. The ancient Hindu concept of viveka, or discrimination, refers to the profound ability to distinguish between the real and the unreal, the permanent and the impermanent, a clarity of mind that is cultivated through meditation and self-inquiry. There's an intriguing tale of a renowned Indian sage who, simply by observing a drop of dew on a lotus leaf, attained profound clarity about the impermanence of all existence, an insight that guided his entire life. Historians still debate whether his observation was uniquely insightful or if he just really liked dewdrops. It speaks to the idea that profound clarity can arise from the simplest, most mindful observation. Ultimately, your journey towards understanding the spiritual power of silence in Brahmanism is deeply enriched by its function as a path to clarity. It is the powerful understanding that true insight, the ability to discern truth and make wise choices, emerges from a mind that is stilled, unburdened by internal noise and external distractions. By consistently seeking moments of profound silence, you allow your inherent wisdom to surface, ensuring that your actions are always guided by clarity and virtue, thereby shaping a karmic destiny filled with peace, purpose, and profound understanding. You become like a polished mirror, reflecting reality with perfect accuracy, free from distortions. It's about trusting that the answers you seek are often found not in louder thought, but in deeper quiet. The ancient Brahminical sages understood that while the world might present endless puzzles and illusions, the solution to all confusion and the true path to karmic mastery lay in the profound, illuminating clarity that only emerges from the heart of silence. And as you cultivate this inner clarity, you discover a profound truth that transcends all words. As the profound clarity cultivated through silence continues to illuminate your inner landscape, you now arrive at a deeper understanding of how this stillness is intrinsically linked to cultivating wisdom, not as mere intellectual knowledge, but as a profound intuitive knowing that guides your every action and shapes your karmic future. This isn't about accumulating facts. It's about discerning the deeper truths of existence, perceiving the interconnectedness of all things, and applying that insight to live a life of profound purpose. Imagine a deep, still well whose waters reflect the entire sky, offering not just hydration, but a glimpse into the boundless heavens above. Your silent, clear mind in this light becomes that well, providing access to wisdom that transcends ordinary thought. Ancient Hindu scriptures, particularly the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, describe prajna, or wisdom, as the ultimate fruit of meditation and self-discipline, a direct perception of reality unclouded by ego or delusion, a crucial step towards liberation from karmic cycles. There's a fascinating historical account of the legendary sage Yajnavalkya from the Upanishads, who, during a profound philosophical debate, often resorted to silent contemplation, allowing universal truths to spontaneously reveal themselves, rather than relying on logical argumentation alone. Historians still debate whether his occasional silences were strategic rhetorical pauses or genuine moments of profound inner communion. It highlights a universal belief that true wisdom arises from a source beyond mere intellect. For in the Brahmins, the pursuit of wisdom was the highest aspiration, believing that it was the key to understanding dharma, righteous conduct, and achieving liberation, moksha, from the cycle of rebirth. They understood that intellectual cleverness was distinct from true wisdom, and that the latter could only be cultivated in a mind purified by silence and self-discipline. Through practices like deep meditation, dhyana, and profound introspection, they sought to transcend the limitations of the ego and perceive the universal laws that govern existence. You might feel a subtle expansion within your own consciousness, a quiet confidence that the answers you seek are often found not in external seeking, but in internal stillness, in the wisdom that arises from a calm mind. It's like realizing that the most profound teachers don't lecture. They simply create the space for you to discover the truth within yourself. Did you know that ancient Brahminical gurukuls, residential schools, emphasized long periods of silent reflection and direct experience over formal lectures, encouraging students to internalize philosophical concepts through personal contemplation rather than rote memorization? It's a bit like a modern university where the professors only give you profound questions and then leave you alone in a library for a month. Historians still debate whether this method always produced enlightened scholars or occasionally just very introverted ones. This deep cultivation of internal wisdom was their path to spiritual mastery. The profound link between cultivating wisdom through silence and your karmic journey is that actions born of genuine wisdom are inherently virtuous and lead to beneficial outcomes. When your mind is clear and imbued with deep understanding, your choices are less likely to be driven by ignorance, attachment, or aversion, which are the root causes of negative karma. Instead, your actions flow naturally from a place of insight and compassion, creating positive karmic ripples that lead to greater peace, harmony, and liberation. You're becoming a master sculptor, not just carving stone, but shaping your very destiny with each deliberate, wise decision, guided by an unseen hand of profound understanding. A little-known fact is that some Brahminical texts describe sattva, a state of mental purity and clarity, as the ideal condition for wisdom to flourish, and this state was believed to be primarily attained through practices that quieted the mind, like silence and meditation. Imagine your mind becoming so pure that truth just spontaneously flows through it, like water through a crystal-clear conduit. Historians still debate whether this state of sattva was a permanent attainment or a fleeting experience. It's about creating the optimal internal conditions for profound insights to emerge. The true freedom that arises from cultivating wisdom in stillness is the liberation from the suffering caused by ignorance and delusion. When you perceive reality with clarity and understanding, you are no longer bound by false beliefs or misguided desires. This wisdom allows you to navigate life's complexities with grace, seeing challenges as opportunities for growth and understanding the impermanent nature of all things, thereby neutralizing their power to cause distress. This clarity ensures that your karmic contributions are always constructive and beneficial, leading to a life of profound peace and purpose. You are becoming a beacon of light shining brightly in a world often shrouded in shadows, guiding yourself and others towards truth. It's like finally seeing the intricate pattern of a complex tapestry, realizing that every thread, even the seemingly misplaced ones, contributes to the overall beauty. The ancient Hindu concept of jnana yoga, the path of knowledge or wisdom, emphasizes the role of intellectual inquiry and meditative insight as the primary means to attain liberation and break free from the cycle of karma. There's an intriguing tale of the great philosopher Adi Shankara, who, through rigorous intellectual inquiry and profound meditative insight, attained such deep wisdom at a young age that he famously debated and defeated much older, renowned scholars, establishing a unified philosophical system that continues to influence millions. Historians still debate whether his intellectual prowess was purely due to his rigorous study or also involved a rare, innate, intuitive genius. It powerfully illustrates how profound wisdom, attained through disciplined practice, can lead to transformative influence. Ultimately, your journey towards understanding the spiritual power of silence in Brahmanism reaches its profound realization in cultivating wisdom in stillness. It is the understanding that true knowledge, the kind that liberates and guides, emerges not from external accumulation, but from an inner quietude, a mind made receptive and clear through deliberate practice. By consistently seeking silence, you allow universal truths to unfold within you, ensuring that your actions are always guided by deep insight and virtue, thereby shaping a karmic destiny characterized by profound peace, clarity, and enduring purpose. You become like a tranquil sage, observing the world with calm understanding, untouched by its fleeting dramas. It's about realizing that the most profound answers are often found not in the clamor of external information, but in the quiet resonance of your own awakened consciousness. The ancient Brahminical sages understood that while the world might offer endless distractions, the ultimate path to true wisdom and the most powerful means of controlling your karmic journey lay in the profound, illuminating stillness of a mind open to universal truth. And as you embrace this inner wisdom, you discover a profound sense of peace that transcends all words. As the profound wisdom cultivated through silence settles deeply within your being, you now arrive at the ultimate promise of this journey, the ultimate freedom of silence, a liberation that transcends all external bonds and karmic entanglements, culminating in a state of eternal peace. This isn't merely freedom from noise or distraction, it's freedom to be your true self, unburdened by the illusions and limitations of the conventional world. Imagine a majestic eagle soaring effortlessly in the vast, silent sky, completely unconstrained by earthly concerns, gliding on the currents of pure being. Your conscious mind, when aligned with profound silence, achieves this very liberation, soaring beyond all limitations. Ancient Hindu scriptures, particularly the Bhagavad Gita, speak of the enlightened being who acts without attachment to outcomes, achieving a state of complete liberation, moksha, from the cycles of karma and suffering, a freedom born from inner stillness. There's a fascinating historical account of a legendary ascetic who, when offered immense worldly treasures, simply smiled in silence and walked away, completely unfazed by the allure of material wealth, demonstrating an absolute inner freedom from desire. Historians still debate whether his detachment was truly absolute, or if he occasionally eyed a particularly shiny gem. It highlights a universal understanding that true freedom stems from within. For the Brahmins, achieving this ultimate freedom of silence was the pinnacle of spiritual endeavor, the direct realization of Atman as Brahman, the individual, soul merging with the universal. They understood that all suffering stemmed from the illusion of separation and the incessant desires born from a restless mind. By quieting the mind through disciplined silence, they transcended these limitations, experiencing a boundless, unconditioned freedom that lay beyond all worldly attachments. You might feel an expansive sense of liberation blooming within you, a quiet realization that the deepest happiness is not found in acquisition, but in release, in the profound stillness of simply being. It's like finally exhaling after holding your breath for a lifetime, finding effortless relief in the natural flow. Did you know that some ancient Brahminical texts describe the enlightened sages as Jivan Muktas, those who achieve liberation while still alive, their lives characterized by profound inner peace and freedom, regardless of external circumstances? It's a bit like earning your retirement before you even start your career, but for your soul. Historians still debate whether this state of liberation was a rare attainment or an accessible goal for all dedicated seekers. This profound freedom, cultivated through inner quiet, was their highest aim. The profound link between the ultimate freedom of silence and your karmic journey is that when you achieve this state of liberation, your actions are no longer driven by ego, fear, or desire, but by pure wisdom and compassion. This ensures that every action you take creates only beneficial karmic ripples, leading to a complete cessation of suffering and a profound state of eternal peace. You are no longer creating new entanglements, but living in a state of pure harmony, effortlessly aligned with the cosmic order. You are becoming a perfectly tuned instrument, playing the music of existence without a single false note. A little-known fact is that some Brahminical philosophies posited that even the karma accumulated over countless lifetimes could be burned off or transcended through intense spiritual practices, with profound silence and meditation being among the most powerful tools. Imagine hitting a spiritual reset button on all your past actions, simply by cultivating deep inner quiet. Historians still debate whether this karmic transcendence was a metaphorical cleansing or a literal eradication of past imprints. It's about achieving a state of ultimate purity and freedom from all conditioning. The true eternal peace that arises from this ultimate freedom of silence is the cessation of all sorrow, all mental agitation, and the direct experience of your boundless true nature. When you reside in this deep stillness, you are beyond the reach of external events, beyond the dualities of pleasure and pain, success and failure. Your existence becomes a pure, unconditioned flow of awareness, a timeless state of being that is inherently blissful. You are becoming a perfectly still mirror, reflecting the infinite cosmos without a ripple, at peace with everything. It's like finally finding the profound quiet at the eye of a hurricane, where no storm can ever touch you. The ancient Hindu concept of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, a state of complete absorption in the absolute consciousness, is often described as the experience of this ultimate freedom and eternal peace, where all thoughts cease and one rests in pure being. There's an intriguing tale of the legendary Yogi Lahiri Mahasaya, who, after decades of dedicated practice, could enter this state at will, appearing outwardly normal while inwardly experiencing profound union with the divine, a silent testament to ultimate liberation. Historians still debate whether his quiet mastery was perceptible to ordinary onlookers or only recognized by fellow adepts. It points to the incredible, silent potential of human consciousness. Ultimately, your journey towards understanding the spiritual power of silence in Brahmanism culminates in the profound embrace of the ultimate freedom of silence. It is the powerful, quiet realization that the path to true happiness and lasting liberation lies not in manipulating the world, but in perfecting your inner self, in aligning your will with the universal reason, and in accepting the unfolding of the cosmos with unwavering serenity. By consistently practicing the cultivation of inner stillness, you ensure that your karmic journey is not a struggle, but a graceful dance towards ultimate tranquility, a profound and beautiful return to your true peaceful nature. You become like a star that has found its permanent place in the night sky, radiating a quiet, unwavering light that continues to illuminate the path for all. It's about building a fortress of inner calm so impenetrable that no external force can ever disturb your profound serenity. The ancient Brahminical sages understood that this profound eternal peace, achieved through a life of mindful virtue and deep silence, was the ultimate goal, the complete mastery of karma. Now, as the narrative draws to a close, let the quietude of these thoughts settle over you, like a soft, comforting blanket. Feel the gentle calm spreading through your being, easing any lingering tension. The distant sounds of the night soften, blurring into a gentle hum, a whisper of the universe itself, lulling you deeper into rest. Let the images fade, the concepts dissolve, leaving only a profound sense of peace and a quiet knowing. Your journey has been long, but the destination, this stillness, is always within your grasp, a sanctuary you can always return to. May your mind be clear, your heart light, and your sleep profound. End of script. Thank you for listening, everyone.